great communicator? The first step is to listen. And not just superficially, but truly give your presence and your time to the person in front of you. Remove all distractions and be there with them. The second thing you need to be a good communicator is to be open to what others are conveying or saying. Because when you're communicating, you're not just communicating verbally. You're communicating with your body language. And sometimes it's so subtle, you don't even know you're doing it. So if the person in front of you is saying something and you are resisting it, your body will show it. And subconsciously, the person will start feeling blocked by you. The moment a person feels that they are not being heard, or there is an opinion, or there is a judgment, they will start shutting down. And then what you say will already be blocked by them. They won't hear you, and they won't be willing to listen to you, because you've already sent them the signal that what you're saying I don't agree with, or I've made a judgment about you. So that's the second step. The third step, or was that the third step? Anyway, the next step is be warm in the way you speak. Let there be a kindness and a warmth in not only what you say, but also what you listen to. So be receptive and be warm to that person so that they feel comfortable in your company. To be a good communicator, it is so important to make that person feel like they are safe. So if you can do that, if you can master doing that, and I don't mean being fake or false, I mean truly giving that person a sense of security, then naturally they will be more inclined to hear what you're saying, receptive to what you're saying, and they will also be more inclined to be honest and truthful with you. Another very important thing when you are communicating is to have a level of confidence and authority. I don't mean arrogance, and I don't mean being a dictator or being a know-it-all or being a show-off. That is not what I mean. I mean, have the core of your being firm and speak from conviction. Don't just talk about things off the top of your head and about things that you've heard. Talk about it with belief. Talk about it with confidence. Unless you believe it, nobody else is going to believe it. So if you don't believe in what you're saying, the person's not going to believe you either. So if you want to communicate, and I believe in honest communication, I'm not talking about being a salesperson and lying to people, because no. It's just a no for me. What I'm talking about is making a genuine connection with a person. So say you're selling a product, for example, and you may not have any great belief in it, or you may not like it, you may not hate it. You're just neutral towards it, and this is your job. What you are communicating to that person or selling that person isn't the product. It really is not. It is about making that person feel valuable. And when you communicate and you make that person feel that they are of value, and they're naturally drawn towards you, because everybody wants to feel valuable, to be acknowledged, to be seen. And when you are selling a product, don't sell it in a pushy way. Don't push it onto somebody, because then people are going to run away and go in the opposite direction. The way to truly sell something to somebody, and really if if they like you and they like how you made them feel, that is another massive point of importance in communication. How do you make that person feel? If you make them feel good about themselves, they will come to you. They will buy from you. They will engage with you. There's, there is a true respect for the person that you're dealing with. You don't see them as an object or just a means to an end. So when communicating, that human aspect, that connection, all anybody wants is connection. So when you communicate, connect with that person and make eye contact. Let them know that you are truly seeing them. I don't mean glare at them and scare them. That's not gonna work either if you kind of just give them a deathly stare. I mean, engage with their soul. The eyes, like they say, are the windows to your soul. So there are moments when you need to make eye contact, that yes, I see you, I hear you, I acknowledge you. Those are the few things that come to me to be a good communicator. And also another thing that's important is to know what you're talking about. Know your stuff. So when you're communicating, say it's about a sales, something to do with sales or something to do with marketing, know what you're talking about. But also don't be a know-it-all. If somebody comes back, and you tell them about something and they come back with, oh, but I know this too. Say, oh, really? Okay, that's interesting. That's a different way of looking at it. So that's it. Be open to what they come back with and really hear what they're telling you. Don't already have preconceived notions in your head, or be like a parrot about what you think, and so therefore you are right, and that is the only way. Be open to their opinion. Be open to how they feel about what you're talking about. And give them the room to do that. Because if you just dismiss all their thoughts and desires and opinions and feelings, and if you give them the room to do that, like if you give people the room to have an opinion or say something, maybe even negative about what you're talking about, and you say, okay, that's interesting, all right, then they calm down. Then they, a lot of people are defending, because it's a sense of like protection. They're defending, their guard comes up. How to bring their guard down is to allow them to see their peace, allow them to have their doubts, allow them to express their fears or their previous experiences which weren't good, or how they felt about it, and empathize with them. So don't just be like, yeah, but that's not us. It's just not going to be like that with me. Say, really? Okay, you went through that. I'm sorry you went through that. I'm sorry it was that kind of experience for you. But hopefully, you will see that it can be different, or that you will give us an opportunity to change the way things went for you. And I know it's heading more towards like sales and marketing, but generally this applies to all forms of communication, even in your relationships. If you're communicating with your loved one and you find it hard and there's difficulty in communicating, just take a few breaths and allow, make room for the other person in a communication, a conversation. Because a lot of times we are so involved with ourselves that it's my way or the highway, and when you become conscious about that, when you become conscious that that's what you're doing, then you can step back and say, no, it's both ways. So I'm going to let that person express themselves, and I'm going to be open to it. I'm not going to just shut down when they say something I don't agree with. I'm going to try and see where they're coming from, because a lot of communication um, is giving the other person space. It's not about what you're speaking all the time. It's about what you're allowing the other person that you're communicating with to do in that space. And the more you allow, the more space you give them to be who they are, the better the communication will be. And when you're communicating, don't expect a person to be like you, because everybody is different. Everybody has different perspectives and ways of thinking. So don't get stuck on what you believe in. Maybe even allow somebody else to show you a different view, and look at it from that standpoint. The moment we become just stuck in what we think and what we believe, you shut down all communication. All right, so openness is a very big point in being a good communicator. Listening, I cannot say it enough. That I think is the most important thing. Listen, listen, listen. Truly listen. Also, know when to put your point forward, because some people don't know how to stop talking, and they're not good communicators. So if they are all going on, yes, of course it's important to listen, but then once they've said their piece, another thing you need to do is replay it back to them. So if a person says to you, you know, I'm having a lot of trouble with my partner, and they refuse to do certain things, and whatever complaints they have, repeat it to them and say, so you're telling me that you're having a difficult time with your partner and they refuse to do certain things, and you know, and just what's the word, you know what I mean, just repeat what they said to you, and say to them, so did I get that right? This is what you are experiencing. This is what your issue is. And if they come back to you and say, yes, but this, and this, again, say to them, I see, I understand. This is what it is. So when you clarify with the person, then you're also really making sure that you got their message right. And anything that you didn't get, they can clarify further for you. And then when you do that, they know that you heard them. They know that you told them something and they heard it. And then that gives that person confidence in you, because you're not just like, No, you're telling them what they told you, and then you find a solution from there, if it's about dealing with a problem or helping them with a certain issue in their life, whatever it is. Also, when you're communicating with, like, say you're doing sales, you can ask the person, you know, what do you hope to achieve? What do you want? What is your goal? What is your aim? And this is how. So when they say it, say this is what you need, and then you can say how you can fulfill that, or you can give them the solution for that particular thing that they need in their lives. Yeah. And that's what I have so far for you about communication. So I hope you'll enjoy that. I hope you got something valuable out of this, and you can apply these things in your life, and it'll make you a better communicator For sure. For sure. All right. Take care and thank you for listening.